Hi Twitter's, it's Nice right now. Very important video. So we went to a very important video right now. Basically, I want to talk about something regarding to tobacco. So, our tobacco topic. Today is still tobacco, like a big ass cigar. It is about almost 7 o'clock in the evening. So, I want to do another tobacco topic right now. Basically, I want to talk about chewing tobacco and dipping tobacco. American chewing tobacco, long leaf Chosky, Fujowski, and also dip or moist snuff. Not Swedish snus and not nasal snuff or powder dry snuff. I know Clay likes that. Nice big ass Clay for like the big ass cigar. Big shout out to you, Clay. Now, basically, I want to talk about chew and dip. First off, this is actually a two-part video. First off, which is worse, chew or dip in terms of health effects? This is a health-related video, FYI. So if you're not into watching health-related videos, you know what to do. Click off right now. Big ass cigar for like, don't be a dick troll. In terms of which is worse, in my opinion, dip is definitely worse than chew, even though all of them have very low amounts of carcinogens and nitrosamines, according to Dr. Radu on tobaccotruth.com. Basically, while both of them have very low amounts of contaminants as modern day chewing tobacco and dipping tobacco. Now, FYI, this is a disclaimer right off the bat. I think chewing tobacco and dipping tobacco is repulsive. It is disgusting. The spitting. Sorry if I offended anybody. I think it's nasty. I mean, for a better word, it's fucking nasty. I hate to be a dick. I hate to come off as like a prick or an asshole, but it's like, absolutely, it is repulsive. I can't stand it. I don't chew gum. I don't chew sunflower seeds. I don't chew mints. I don't chew or suck on anything. Occasionally, I'll have like a lollipop. I've actually gone to a kick whenever I go to like a hair salon. I get like a lollipop. Like a regular lollipop, not a nicotine lollipop, but just a regular lollipop, and suck on it. So it didn't sound right. Big ass cigar for life. But in terms of chewing tobacco, I think it's disgusting. I mean, honestly, no offense to people who do it. Same thing as cigarettes. It's disgusting. You're smoking paper. But the whole point is, back to the video topic is, in terms of what is worse, so I am kind of a little bit of a hypocrite because, or not a hypocrite, but I'm kind of biased because I think chewing tobacco is fucking nasty. So honestly, it's fucking nasty. But in terms of which is worse for your health, probably dip, because it's sitting in a concentrated area of your body. So it's sitting in the lip as opposed to chewing tobacco. It's being moved around with saliva and maybe bubblegum, nice big ass bubblegum for life in your mouth. So it is being moved around and it's not sitting in one point. I mean, it's sitting in your cheek, but it's not like being moved around. Now, FYI, also, this is not to encourage anybody under the age of 18 whatsoever to use it. I'm probably going to age restrict this video also. So it's like, if you're under 18, tobacco is not for you for the last freaking time. Big ass cigar for life. And don't take my videos too seriously. I'm not a doctor. I'm not actually a doctor. Big ass cigar for life. Anyway, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a typical nice big ass YouTuber for life. So probably dip is worse than chew. Dip is definitely worse than chew in my opinion because it's sitting in a concentrated area. But something very interesting, this is part 2 of the video, going back to a very old comment I got back in 2010 probably, 2011, actually 2010, yeah, definitely. Basically discussing when you choose to dip, not so much chew, because I've heard a lot better things about chew. Chewing tobacco or longleaf Chosky for the Josky is a lot less common because it's usually more something associated with older people and baseball players as opposed to dip or moist snuff, which is the snuff you put in your lip, not the snuff you sniff. Longleaf chewing tobacco, I've heard, is, I wouldn't call it healthy, but I would call it a hell of a lot better than dip or moist snuff, Copenhagen Skull, Grizzly, Kodiak, that kind of stuff, Redman, dip. In terms of dip, this is a very interesting comment, and I can't really remember if I did this in my weird comment series or not. It's just been so long. It's been so many years. It's been almost 3 years. Is when somebody said, I do quote their comment. I'm quoting their comment, not plagiarizing, but I'm quoting their comment. Somebody said, in regards to dip or chew, you take about a 50-50 chance when you start using it. In other words, what that means, to paraphrase that or to summarize that, is 50% of the people, so this is 50%, this is 50% in my hands, 50% of people in my left hand are going to 50% of people in my left hand are going to use dip, not chew, moist snuff, Copenhagen Skull, Red Man, whatever, cougar, Timberwolf, and they're going to have some reaction like gum recession, leukoplakia, irritation. I'm not a doctor for the last time. Irritation or gums. Irritated lips. All that kind of stuff. I'm saying a lot. They got Cigar for Life, and it's kind of like they're gonna have some degree of irritation, but the whole point is they're never going to develop life-threatening problems like severe gum disease, tooth abscess, or oral cancer like lip, tongue, gum cancer. Now, the other part in my right hand are going to use it and have a very bad reaction. They're going to develop tooth abscess, severe gum disease, periodontal disease, I think that's how you pronounce it, and potentially oral cancer, oral precancerous lesions. So obviously I'm not a doctor. So that's kind of how it goes. And that's where it's a very interesting comment. I forget for the life of me who it was who wrote that comment back in 2010. I can't remember. I think I maybe have the comments saved on my YouTube page, but I would have to look back at my really, really old ass videos, like the Big Ass Cigar, really old videos when I first started YouTube back in 2010. I think I got that comment maybe in 20. I don't even remember. So sorry, Big Ass Cigar for Life. So that's very interesting. So Clearly, dip is more dangerous than chew. Both are lower risk because of the level of contaminants and nitrosamines. Clearly, snus is clearly much, much, much better for you. Again, you have to be 18 years old or 21 years old with a valid photo ID to buy it, Big Ass Cigar for Life. And clearly, nasal snuff or powdered dry snuff, while it can be very addictive, is probably the best for you overall. So, clearly, no tobacco product is safe. All tobacco products have dangers. Dip is clearly worse than chew because it's sitting in a concentrated area. It also has probably more additives, and probably about 50% of people are going to do fine. 50% of people are going to have a terrible reaction. Big Ass Cigar for Life. Bye.